Without the proper channeling for your power and your purpose and all that you've activated, your magnetism, your beauty, and healing your root chakra and activating all that you are and all that you come to this planet to do, without the proper channel in which to channel this newfound power, this new unleashed and activated power and superpowers, we cause ourselves more suffering. But let me tell you why. Welcome to Alcheminity, because turning pain into power is sexy. I was about to say our community and alcheminity all at the same time, but y'all get the picture. Y'all have been subscribers here for some time, so you know the drill. For those of you who are new here, welcome to the colony. I hope you decide to subscribe. Everything you need to know about booking me, collaborating with me, partnering with me, sponsoring Alcheminity, all that information is in the description box below. How to donate, how to get your copy of my book, Activate, which is on Amazon. All that stuff is in the description box below. So let's get into it. Y'all, when you activate your power and your purpose, when you activate your magnetism, when you activate your beauty, when you healed your root chakra and you start to raise that kundalini energy up through your body, through your crown, out into the world, starting to show up publicly and all that you are. Let me tell you something. You have got to create the proper channel. Either find it, but most of you on this journey, you're meant to create the proper channel. I recently saw this video from Jim Carrey, and he was asked why he acts, why he's an entertainer, why he's an actor. And his response was so profound, and it inspired me to share this one right here, to share this video right here, to share this message with you. But he said he acts because he's broken. He acts because he's broken into a million pieces, and acting helps him kind of organize those pieces and put them back together. Now, for those of you who got your copy of Activate, my book, which again is on Amazon and paperback and ebook, you know exactly what this means. In my book, I talk about remembering, not just memory, but remembering, meaning putting back together again. Because from past lives, things that we haven't healed, a lot of the traumas that we experience can come from past lives and fragmented pieces of our past lives that we haven't called back. When people talk about calling your power back to you, this is what this means. This means remembering, assembling, putting back together again, because we were dismembered. Okay, spread apart in millions of pieces from different lifetimes. And our job, in order to activate our power and call our power back, is bringing those pieces back together, putting them back together, putting ourselves back together like Humpty Dumpty that fell off the wall, putting ourselves back together like the puzzle pieces that we are. And so, once you do that, once you remember and call your power back to you and you activate all of your superpower, okay, again, we talk about our superpowers being your spiritual abilities. Maybe you're clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, you're an empath, you're a psychic, all the clairs, okay? And once you activate these spiritual abilities, you are healing your chakras as well, beginning with the root, because everything begins at the root, the foundation, like a tree, which we always talk about, okay? But once you do this, you have got to create channels in which your power can now flow out, right? So now you've activated it, you've raised it up inside of yourself, you've awakened and risen up this kundalini energy, and now you're on fire, right? All of your chakras are online. You're beautiful. You're magnetic. Maybe you've activated your throat chakra, right? You've healed your throat chakra. Remember, all of the energy is raising up from your root, from your phallics, from your penis, from your vagina, from your pussies. It's raising up through the body, through all of the chakra points to and out of your crown, right? And once it gets to your throat chakra, you're healing your throat chakra, right? So maybe you have healed your throat chakra, activated it, and now part of your mission and your purpose is to be a speaker. Maybe it's to be a messenger like me. Maybe you're to be a teacher, maybe even a singer, a poet, right? When you activate your superpower of being a singer or a poet or a speaker or an educator or some type of teacher, something in which you are using something in which you're using your throat chakra, you need an outlet for this energy, right? Because let me tell you something, what a lot of people don't tell you on this journey, and what I'm going to tell you because that's what I'm here to do, right? once you activate all of this power and this energy inside of yourself, if you don't allow yourself to pour it out, because again, we are vessels, and vessels, we hold things for a while. Confirmation. What was that? A train horn? I think it was a train horn. But when you are a vessel and if you don't allow yourself to pour out, right, so that you can continuously be poured into from your ancient energy, from your higher self and spiritual guides, you are going to, what's the word I'm thinking? Overload. It'll be a system shutdown because you are carrying and walking around with too much power all at one time. And so as vessels, we are supposed to allow this energy and this power to flow through us and flow out of us continuously, like a continuous river flowing to the sea. All right. If we harbor it all in, we will do more harm to ourselves than we think. We are doing more harm to ourselves than what we think. And so we have got to have, for lack of better words, creative outlets. This is what people mean when they say creative outlets. Again, if you're supposed to be a speaker, you need to be out there speaking because now you've activated your throat chakra. And what are you supposed to do with all of this knowledge that wants to be spoken through you, all of this wisdom that wants to be spoken through you? You are a vessel, right? Because you're activated, you are now a usable vessel. And so as a usable vessel, you are supposed to be doing whatever it is that you've activated. Okay. For those of you who, again, we focus a lot on the root chakra here. This is where my foundation is. Everything else you can learn and go on your way. But I'm here for those of you at the initiation phase of your activation, of your awakening, coming online of who you are and what you are. So I stick to the root chakra here. But once you activate and heal your root chakra, just like in my last video when I talked about, getting used to attracting and being magnetic and being a sex symbol, right? So what should you do with this healed root chakra energy now, right? With healed root chakra energy, for me, my focus has been on my stability. My focus has been on creating things that bring me more prosperity and bring me more wealth. Because on my journey, and I'm sharing this with y'all because nobody shared it with me. You think it's common knowledge, but it really isn't. I didn't begin with my root chakra when I first started on my journey. So I was top heavy, meaning I started at my third eye. I started with my third eye because I needed to see and needed to awaken within so that I could see what I needed to heal. Once I opened my third eye, I was able to see, okay, I need to get to the root of whatever is going on. And the root for me was the root chakra, healing a lot of the sexual traumas, because in my life I was experiencing financial lack. I would be doing okay in life and things are going well, making money, business is going good. And then some shit would happen and I would lose a job, or I would quit a job, or I would get fired from a job, or I would lose a client. I always felt like I was making 2 steps only to get knocked back 10. And it always had to do with love and money, to the point I was thinking, damn, am I cursed? And in a lot of ways, that is true too. You'll read about that in the book and you can watch some old content that I talked about. A lot of it does have to do with curses. Many of us have had to break generational curses. This is why you are the alchemist, right? This is why you're here on Alcheminity, because you've had to learn to turn your pain into power. And so, yes, a lot of us had to break generational curses. And when people say, am I cursed? And somebody said, no, you're not. You can't tell people no, because that could be very false. That could be wrong. There absolutely could be curses strongholds that are holding you back. And curses show up in traumas. Curses can show up in your childhood through some sort of sexual trauma, emotional trauma, physical abuse, mental abuse, all of that kind of stuff. That's what generational curses look like. And so we have had to break those, right? So I realized once I healed and activated my root chakra, how I needed to show up, what my vessel needed to be. Now, many of us have several purposes, right? I am one of the ones that have several missions and purposes to fulfill. One is through my throat chakra, one is through my crown and my third eye chakra, and the other is through my root chakras. And which is why I share information about sensuality and sexuality, which is why I decided to get certified as a sexuality educator, because I needed to dive deeper on, first of all, what was holding me back so I can pour that out and share that information with other people who may be on the same journey of awakening, right? And so my vessel for me, my outlet for me concerning my root chakra has been creating sensual and sexual content that helps heal those of us who have struggled mentally, who have struggled emotionally, who have struggled energetically, who needed to heal sexual traumas. I write articles about how to heal from sexual traumas and some of the experiences I've been through, and even writing my book. I created this channel, Alcheminity. It used to be a different name, Fireside Chats for Global Women, but I realized there were so many men coming to the colony, and I said, you know what, this can't just be for women. Now, I do speak from a woman's perspective, and I do address women a lot, but my men are here too, and I'm so thankful that you are. Thank you for being here. And so that has been my outlet once I've healed my root chakra. And part of my other purpose is using my throat chakra like I'm doing right now. I am speaking to you all, sharing my wisdom with you all, sharing the spiritual ancient insights that come to me with those of you it's meant for, with those of you who are subscribed here, right? And so if I didn't have an outlet in which to speak and write, if I didn't create this YouTube channel, if I didn't create my Patreon pages, if I didn't write my book and my article, if I didn't do some of the speaking things that I do publicly, then I would be causing myself a lot more pain and a lot more trauma than I could have ever expected. And I did. That's why a lot of us here probably have experienced some extreme levels of anxiety, of depression, suicidal thoughts. Do you know that that's where a lot of your energy a lot of your energy is showing up as depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts, because you haven't created the outlet for your power. And so it's just sitting inside of you, right? Your root chakra is activated. All of your chakras are activated, but you're doing nothing with that energy, nothing with that power, nothing with that wisdom. It's just sitting inside of you. What's going to happen? It's just like a computer, overload and crash. And so for those of you on this journey, create an outlet. Okay. If you have, for a lot of you also healing your root chakra, you have activated and awakened the dancer in you. Many of you are supposed to be dancers, maybe even erotic dancers. Okay. Through healing your root chakra, many of you are supposed to be doing that. Through healing your root chakra, we're activating your beauty and your magnetism. Once you do that, your outlet might be that you're supposed to be a model. Maybe your outlet is you're supposed to be, some sort of actor like Jim Carrey, like I mentioned earlier. Okay. You are supposed to be seen in some way, shape, or form so that people can be inspired by your beauty, by your magnetism, and by your energy. So if you don't have an outlet in which to show up in your power, in which to pour your power out into the world, because remember, this power is ever flowing through you. It does not run out. What you could do is suppress it and hide and vilify it and demonize it, which I talk about all the time, but it does not run out. So your job is to find the outlet in which to pour your newfound activated energy into the world. Why? Because that is your mission and that is your purpose. You are supposed to share your activated gifts with the world. That is why you're here. And if you don't, you will suffer. I know. Y'all, once you activate, it isn't just supposed to be for you. You got to get it out of you. Okay. It's not what's on you. It's what's in you. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. Listen, I can't wait to see what y'all activate, what y'all unleash. I can't wait to see what avenues you create to pour your energy into so that the world can also benefit from you, from your activations, from your power, from your superpower. Ooh, I can't wait to see what you unleash. It is arousing. It truly is. All right, y'all. Again, thanks for subscribing. For those of you who haven't, go ahead and do that right now. Be a part of the membership. Again, there's some juicy, yummy, erotic content that I just can't share publicly here on YouTube. So you got to become a member to do that. Consider joining the masterclass over on patreon.com/alcheminity. Get your merch and please donate here to the colony. Listen, I can't continue doing this stuff for free, y'all. I ain't got it like that. I really don't. Y'all know I got a job, okay? I got work to do. I got a job, baby. I got a job too. So in order to help me pay these bills, baby, until I get some sponsors and things like that, go on and donate. All the information's in the description box. Zelle, Cashapp, all that good stuff. All right, I will see y'all. I'll speak with y'all in the next cast. Ciao for now.